everyone, and welcome to December 13th Drama Hospital Recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. Also, be a beauty and hit that bell down below so you get notified every time we upload a new recap. Really fast, before we start, we talked a lot about net neutrality on this channel before the FCC vote. The FCC has voted to repeal net neutrality, but it is far from over. You can still call your representative and senators and they can undo that decision. They can also back up or introduce legislation to defend net neutrality legislatively. There are also a bunch of states and attorney generals suing to protect net neutrality, and also the FCC is going to have to defend themselves in court over this decision, and they've done that like twice previous and failed. So it's far from over. Don't lose hope. I said this in another video, but any headline that's being clickbaity and saying net neutrality is dead or it's over, there's no more net neutrality, that's not true. There's still net neutrality. The fight's not over. If anything, the FCC decision, as much as we were reaching out to the FCC, the chances, like 95%, the chances were they were going to vote to repeal it. I'm not surprised. I'm sure none of you are surprised, but the next step really is in our hands and we have a lot more control over that. Let's get to the recap. At the Metro Court, Nelle is having yet another meal and really playing it up. Like, she went from zero to snake real fast. And she's like, ribeye or lobster? Oh, I'm being silly. I'll get the surf and turf. Girl, please. She's sitting with Carly, Sunny, and Michael. It's so tense. Like, it's so tense and uncomfortable. Michael says that he will cover all of her medical expenses related to the pregnancy, and then they'll hash out a post-custody agreement, and he will support his child. Like, he'll pay to support the child. And Nelle's like, only your child? No deal. Oh my, like, she wants money for her to keep her comfortable, and they tell her to get a job, and she's like, well, you've kind of made that impossible for me. No, they haven't. You just can't get a job at Carly's place or Crimson because you burnt that bridge with Nina, okay? Nobody did that except for you at Crimson, so don't be blaming anyone else. But Michael's like, you know what? You can live in the apartment for free. You don't have to pay rent. And she says that any job she gets will be too stressful for the baby. And they're like, okay, women work when they're pregnant, but I just want to say this is just what they're saying. And Nelle says, if you don't make my life easier, you'll regret it. She'll leave town. And Sunny says he'll always be able to find her. And she's like, what are you gonna do? Kill me? And he's like, you want to find out? Nelle doesn't like how she's being talked to. Michael says, fine, then talk to me. Don't talk to them, talk to me. How do we want to work this out? She says that he has to do better if he wants to be a father. She's leaving, and Michael tells her to wait, and she's like, no, I can't. Bye, and leaves. Michael tells Carly that she needs to let him do this his way for the baby's sake. Michael's discussing this more, but Carly, he doesn't want another Avery debacle or another AJ debacle like what happened with him. Nelle isn't going to look out for this child, so he needs to. At Aurora, Sam checks in with Drew. He's had quite a month already, and she's gonna grab them some coffee. Drew is looking at Oscar's social media site, MyFace, which I absolutely love that name. Jason comes in. He's here to see Drew, so this should be interesting. Jason tells Drew he has a lead on who did this to them, Faison. He loops him in on all of the developments, but they still don't know why this happened. And he says Spinelli found out Faison was in Port Charles yesterday. They also found Britt. Apparently Faison had no interest in Sam and the kids. Britt's in police custody. Also, Faison thought Jason was dead up until a month ago. Jason was supposed to be killed after Drew was put in place, and Drew doesn't see where his family isn't still in danger here. Like, he still thinks that they could be a target. Jason thoroughly believes Britt that Sam and the kids are absolutely not in the picture at all when it comes to this. Faison is running, and Drew's like, yeah, he needs to be stopped. Yes, Sunny is dealing with it, but Drew might be able to help. He might know more than he realizes, and Drew says that he doesn't remember anything that isn't Jason's life. Jason thinks the process of the memory mapping or overlaying Jason's memories on top of Drew's was flawed because Drew wasn't exactly like him. He made choices that Jason wouldn't make. Drew isn't too optimistic about that though. Drew gets it. This has been unimaginable for Jason, but Drew has had his life turned upside down too. Oh, and by the way, me and my mom had like this really in-depth discussion the other day about the memory mapping and all that, so we're going to talk about that more on Patio Chat this upcoming week. Drew has been trying to jog his memory using the Navy file, but there's absolutely nothing. Jason still has hope that the memories are there, and Jason tells Drew about his brain damage and how he lost the first 20 years of his life. Drew's life is only buried. Drew says even if he got his memories back, is that even his life anymore? Jason understands and he thanks Drew for his time. Drew says that if Jason gets a lead on Faison, he wants to help and he wants to be looped in. So is this possibly a way for them to find common ground and get along? At the Quartermaines, Monica and Olivia and Ned are talking. Monica's excited about another Quartermaine. Ned doesn't seem too thrilled. Monica brings up an invite to move here and they could all live together. And Ned says, how about we just get Andrew and Jason in the same room first? Monica thinks Drew and Jason will find common ground. Ned isn't too optimistic about that. He's channeling Tracy. Someone's at the door. Olivia wishes Ned would be a little bit more supportive, and Ned's like, really, Olivia? All Ned sees is possible Michael allies, and it could be bad for ELQ. Sam is at the door. She talks with Monica. She's worried about Drew. Sam tells Monica that Drew has a son. Kim is his mother, the one who works at the hospital. Monica knows her, obviously. And he's dating Jocelyn. Like, he's basically a part of the family anyway. Monica is thrilled, and Monica asks how this is for Sam. Monica thinks Sam knew who Jason was immediately, and she focused on Drew because she knew his life would be turned upside down. Monica thinks Sam is thinking about the possibility of letting Drew go back to his family, and then she'd be free to be with Jason. Sam says that Drew only knew Kim for a few months. They didn't have this like long life together. Sam can't even say Jason's name because of all the memories that are attached. It all rushes back, and she loves Drew. Monica thinks it's only a matter of time before all of this explodes, pretty much. At Kim's, Oscar comes home. Kim's there, and he's still processing their talk from the other night. Kim's sorry. She feels like she's handled all of this pretty badly. Oscar asks questions about her and his dad, how they met, and she says that she was doing an internship and he was stationed in San Diego. They were only together a few months. They agreed to a clean goodbye because he knew he was going to be deployed for however long, and he never knew she was pregnant. She loved being a team with Oscar and Kim against the world. She didn't want that to change, but she knows it has to now. Kim will support Oscar no matter what he decides, and Oscar thinks it's possible that Drew doesn't want a teenage son. Kim thinks that he should still give it a try. He feels like a little insecure because Drew's like this Navy guy, this guy's guy, and Oscar feels he's not the average teenage guy because he's more into reading and going on hikes. He's not like all football, sports. What if Drew doesn't like him? Kim says, look, you're amazing, and no family is like a carbon copy of each other, except apparently me and my mom, if you watch Patio Chat. Maybe Drew is a guy's guy, but she feels he will appreciate Oscar, and she has the full faith in that. And Kim says, no matter what, you always have me. At Kelly's, Julian and Ava come in. She's still bothered by her residual scarring, and Ava decides that she doesn't want to dig up another doctor to finish the procedure. Griffin has made her see reason when it comes to that, and she's grateful Griffin accepts her and most of her life, except for Julian, which, I mean, Ava and Julian are pretty much the same, but whatever. Ava is sure that she can juggle a relationship with her brother and Griffin, and Julian says that he'll just back off for a bit, and she's like, no, family sticks together. Ava is also hoping to get Avery back, and then Nelle walks in. Julian has to go. He has a meeting with Scott. Ava sets her eyes on Nelle. Nelle tells her that she's pregnant, and Avery's gonna be an aunt. And now end scene. Sam leaves the Quartermaines. Michael comes in. He tells Monica, Ned, and Olivia that he's going to be a father. Monica is thrilled, so is Olivia. Monica tells them that there's also another addition. Drew has a son from his pre-Port Charles life, Oscar, Jocelyn's boyfriend. And Michael's like, oh, okay. Sonny is worried. Carly doesn't trust Nelle. Sonny is going to let Michael handle this unless it becomes necessary to step in. If Sunny takes action, everything will change. Ava asks Nelle if her and Michael are getting married, and Nelle says no, they're not in the best place right now, especially with Sunny and Carly. Yeah, because it's Sunny and Carly's fault. Right, yeah, Sunny and Carly did this. Okay, yeah, Sunny and Carly did this. Fine. Nelle says that she needs to prepare to be alone, and Ava brings her over to her table to talk. Kim has to go to work. She's sorry Oscar had to look alone for his father. Kim gets a call. She has to go somewhere that's not the hospital. Sam is on the pier. Jason's there too. They just stare at each other, and he asks her to wait. He wants to talk. Drew is at Kim's door, and Oscar answers. So that should be exciting, and I'm going to record that right now. I will see you in 2 seconds from Drama Hospital, and I hope you have a great 2 seconds. Okay, bye! What's happening?